Hello, this is Olga Jevtich. I'm Miss Virginia Senior America 2003. This is Fashion Notes. You are here for a big treat. We have in the house most talented people, as always, of course, you know, interesting and very talented people. You don't have to go anywhere. They're all here in Washington area. You have to patronize craft shows, and you know, you find absolutely fantastic artists in our area. And with us today is also one very interesting lady. I found her at the McLean craft show recently, and I was very impressed with her work, and she's going to tell us all about it. Her name is Lubna Zahidi. And Lubna, I am very happy that you can come. You're welcome to our show, and you are going to tell us all about your beautiful thing that you are making. First of all, let me ask you, when did you start, you know, working on any crafts? I mean, you're a little girl doing a little bit, you know, helping, you know, with your grandmother, things like that, or how did you start? Or you just decided one day to do one thing, and then from one thing, you know, to second and third, so you expand your craft in many areas. So how did you start it?
Well, I was a little girl when I started painting, and it was just, you know, like a gift from someone who gave me like a small color, like watercolor set. And I started painting with it, and I was like very young, and I just got like a wooden block, and I didn't have a paper or anything to paint on, so I just painted on wood. And everybody
on wood,
yeah.
I see. So the wood you just found here and
there?
there?
Yeah, just found it here and there. There was like construction going on, and I found a piece of wood, said, okay, so let me paint on this. So I just started painting on that, and it came out to be a beautiful painting, and everybody, like all the elders.
So you were, even you were impressed.
Yeah, I wish I had that, but I don't know, it was thrown away.
Oh,
like
you first, and then you start, you know, first you start with painting, and you can see perhaps on the back, there is a very pretty picture that she painted, and I asked her, how did she, you know, sketches first? Do you sketch first on wood?
I do.
And then you fill it up, you know, with the interesting colors, you know, the very, you know, becoming and very, very nice. And are they like a oil paint?
Well, I do watercolors and oil also, but my specialty is watercolors and silk.
I see.
So the paintings that you see over there, those are done on silk.
On silk?
Yes.
Well, I have to show you if you can see. She has actually reproduction. I'm going to turn around so you can see.
These are watercolor, original watercolors?
They are watercolors. And they are from, you know, like you can recognize they're real flowers.
Yes,
they are most beautiful.
Sunflower, these are nasturtium.
And then she reproduced it on silk.
Well, those are like some of the work that I've done on paper. And I do like different flowers on silk.
I see.
They can be on silk or watercolor. Yeah.
Which one is more difficult to do, watercolor or the watercolor? I think you can correct it easier. With the oil, it's more probably difficult, I think.
Oil is easier to manage when you're making a oil painting, but watercolor is a little more tricky because it has its own mind. And it flows by itself. When you put it on paper, it is very unpredictable, and it just flows by itself. So you have to know the techniques, how to tame watercolor when you are making a painting.
Oh, I see.
So, and it's not easy to do corrections on it, but with oils and acrylic, it's much more easier because then, I mean, the paint is very opaque. So what you can do is you can just have another layer upon layer of paint to make corrections. So that is why it's different.
And this is more, is it more difficult to do it with the oil, or it's, you know, watercolors?
Well, every medium has its own challenges. So watercolors are, I think, a little more difficult than oils.
It is. I think the opposite, really. Interesting. I see. So what about the painting on silk? This is a different technique, I'm sure.
Exactly.
And do you start with just a plain white silk?
Yes, I start with a plain white
Plain
silk.
white.
Plain white silk.
And then how do you, because I'm sure there is a process, you just have to do in stages.
Exactly.
You just don't do it at once, it has to do one, and how do you, for example, repeat same thing after, so many, repeat this, for example, this is the same thing.
Yeah, so these are like special silk dyes. So what I do is I plan a design in my mind, and then after that I apply my design, whatever I'm thinking, on silk, the color combination and the motifs, everything. And these are like special silk dyes. So once it's all done, because silk is also a little bit like watercolors, because on watercolors, when you touch watercolor on paper, the color flows.
Yeah, flows, exactly.
So silk is also like that, when you put it on, like when you touch your dye on silk, and I paint with a brush, so it flows. So it flows. So
this is painted by the brush?
With brush, yes.
One thing at a time?
One thing at a time, and everything is, and then creating a design with it, and just keeping in mind all the color combinations and everything that I want.
But do you know before you started, you probably know what you're going to do?
Well, a little bit, not all the time.
So sometimes it comes by itself, something beautiful.
Yeah, so sometimes it's
what happens if you make the mistake?
Unpredictable. Well, there's no room for mistakes on silk.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
so I have to be careful when I'm doing it. So this is like, it is like an abstract, like for example, this is an abstract design. So there is room for mistakes in this one. But as you see over there, like that one, the one with flowers in it, and the paintings also which are on silk, there's no room for a mistake. So you have to be really careful when you are painting.
Yeah, you have to be expert actually. This is not for us amateurs to do anything like that. You probably took the classes, to how to do it.
I did take some workshops from Susan Moyer. She's a renowned silk artist in California, and she has been painting also forever. So I started painting on silk about 20 years ago. And before that I just used to do watercolors and oils, but I love painting on silk. It's so interesting, every time there's a new thing that comes up.
What about the colors? Do you have to mix the colors to have a specific shade you want to, or the colors comes, the way they are? You cannot. Can you mix it to make special colors?
Yes, the colors can be mixed. So there are two ways that you can mix colors. You can either mix the colors on palette and bring your brush from the palette to your medium wherever you are doing on silk. Or you can mix colors on silk directly. So there are two ways that you can mix colors.
So which way is the easiest way? Is the same, just different?
It's different. It's a different technique. It's a different technique. So like for example over here, I mixed colors on silk. So they tend to blend into each other.
Blend, that's right.
But sometimes I just need a particular color. So for example, like this one over here, this is like a color that I wanted in this particular scarf. So I pre-mixed this color on my palette and then brought it on silk to color it.
So after you finish, let's say, with all the colors you want, so what do? Do you just let it dry, or you have to do something else? Choose the color. Color will stay the way how you want it to, because as you say, the color bleed. Like if you put them this way or that way, they can just kind of.
It is
mixed together. So how do you prevent that?
So what I do is, first of all, I mean, when I take a plain silk, I stretch it on a stretcher so that it does not touch the ground. Because if it touches the ground, it will be messed up. The design will be messed up because fabric is wet. See? So it has to be raised from the ground like this. when I'm painting. So as soon as the painting is finished on a piece, I let it like sit for about 3 to 4 hours and let the paint seep through the natural fiber, because silk is a natural fiber, so it seeps through. And the dyes which I used are like special silk dyes, and they are like French dyes, and they are like made just for natural fibers. So after it's dry, I roll it in paper and other like fabric pieces to like roll it in a special way to steam set it. So the dye has to be steam set for about 3 to 4 hours before the colors are fast enough to be washed.
Oh, you wash it afterwards.
Exactly. So when the steam setting is finished, I take the scarf out and I wash it.
So what do you use? You don't use any detergent, just put in the water, or how you do?
Just put it in the water, and you can add detergent if you want to.
Really?
Like, yeah.
So it just stay, it will not leak or anything?
No, it won't.
And I can see that you finish, this is something that you don't see often, that she finish edges by hand. This is not machine done. This is how you distinguish good quality scarves from the one that's a machine made. Just look at the edges, and the edges are hand done. This is really something special, because it just takes, can you imagine, how much time takes this to do, every single stitch around each scarf, which is, I'm sure, lots of time you use it to do it. And you have also to have some special silk thread.
Yes.
To finish.
Yes.
So all the scarves are hand done. This is how you can distinguish when you look in the scarf and see how it's finished. If it's, just machine, so this is really not good scarf. I mean, it's good, but it's not as good as hand done, of course. So you moved from paintings, and then moved to painted silks, and then you moved to the felt.
Yes.
And actually, this is not felt. This is she made a beautiful.
This is silk,
purse.
pure silk.
And this is from silk, and the closure is very pretty, because it's you find probably little buttons or something, so it will look very pretty, how you close it. Oh, this is the felt. Tell us how you do the felt, because the felt does not, you don't buy the felt like that in the store. I said I would like 2 yards of this and 3 yards of this. She makes it. So tell us, how do you make felt?
Well, I don't make the felt myself. I get it from a person who has alpacas.
Alpaca.
She raises.
Do you know the alpaca is the very fine wool,
yes,
which is the very, very fine.
So she has alpaca at home. She's a alpaca farmer. So what I do is I ask her to give me alpaca wool, which is compressed wool. So this is how I, when I get it, they are like in small sheets, and I put them together and then make a handbag out of it. So it's like all alpaca wool.
So she does the felt for you in any color you ask for her to do it, or you do it?
Well, these are not dyed. Actually, there's just a little bit of, I put a little bit of like blue wool in it. But this color is like real, like natural alpaca color.
Oh, this is natural.
Natural alpaca color. This is natural alpaca color. So
it's
they
so
are
soft.
Yeah, so they're.
It feels so good. I'm sure it'll be a nice vest from this.
Exactly, very warm also. And what I do is I like stitch the whole thing with like this one has like hand painted silk on it. So the handbag is constructed in its own way, and they are all one of a kind.
And then you
handbags.
find this little, like a button or some things
Yes.
like here and there,
Yes.
probably looking for something to nice closure.
Exactly.
And do you do also the, you have a
Stitching and everything.
Here,
Yes.
so you can, wear it as
And
a
then,
regular
yeah.
purse.
And these are all like vintage pieces. So it gives a
I'm sure one of
little
a
bit
kind, because
one
you
of a
don't
kind.
find,
Yes.
like a 10 of those, that's for sure.
So they're all one of a kind. This one also has like a chain in it. So you can see like alpaca wool over here also. So over here I like cut it and paste it and like sew it. So everything is sewn together. And
how did you learn to do this? You know, just did you do it just first by yourself, and then people ask you, "Well, where did you buy it?" And you know, and then you probably usually how it starts, and then you start doing it and making business of it.
yes, well, I mean, I know a little bit of sewing, so I knew a little bit of sewing, and then I practiced and practiced, and then I like practiced on fabric to make handbags. So I mean, I wish I had an instructor, but this is like I just did it myself.
Well, you should be proud to have this. Was like just a born, you know, talent. And this is a brown one.
This is also,
which is you know, also from alpaca.
Alpaca.
Mm-hmm. Is this a natural color of alpaca?
Natural color of alpaca.
And she found just a perfect piece here, you know, for closure. It's so nice.
Thank you so much.
And this is a silk.
This is, yes, raw silk.
This is a raw silk.
Yes.
And actually combination of two different silks.
Yes.
This is very lightweight. You can put lots of stuff in it because we all, you know, carry lots of stuff in it, and you need lots of room. Yeah. We carry probably some more stuff than we nearly needed, but just in case.
So this is also
this one is also very pretty.
Thank you.
Is this the clutch, or
no,
you can wear it as a clutch?
Yes.
Or
yeah.
And also
and it has
you can, you know,
hanging.
Also, this is also painted silk.
Vintage.
And what do you use for lining here?
Like this is also like fabric, and it is a washable fabric. So in case if you like have some, you mess up with your things,
if you spill something, you know, and makeup,
yes.
you can clean it.
So you can clean it.
Oh, that's very, very, very clever.
And actually the whole handbag is washable because again I painted this silk. It was white and it's like painted and steam set, so it's washable. So
well, you know, people, what do we do? How would, you know, people should take care of it. You don't have to wash it, things like that, unless you have I don't know. But anyway, this is very interesting. I like this one. This is very, very pretty, as you can see. And this is from the painted silk. And this is also from the painted silk. And this is a felt. But anyway, she moved to another media, which is jewelry. And after that, we are going to show you some plates. I don't know how she did all these different things, but they are connected with the painting. So looks like when you know how to paint, you can apply your technique to different things, like she does. But anyway, tell us about your jewelry.
Well, these are also one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces, and you can see I'm also wearing one of them. And they are like very light to wear. Again, each piece is like hand-painted, a small piece like a miniature painting. And once it's done, it's steam set and then made into a piece, like a jewelry
And you
piece.
have a backing of something like
Yes,
different, you know, like felt,
yes,
or a piece of some interesting fabric. So both sides look very nice.
It is like fabric. It is felt at the back, so it is soft to the skin. And when yes, so it doesn't like catch on your clothes, and it is like.
And what kind of thread is this that you put your necklaces on?
It is a silk thread.
Silk.
Silk, yes, cord.
Does it come in different colors?
It does come in different colors, and as you can see that this one is brown. And
what about the beads? Where do you find the, you know, the very interesting beads that you're using? Do you buy, you know, on the internet or online or in the stores, or where do you get it?
It depends on where I get them from. Like whenever I see something nice anywhere, I just get it. But most of the time I get my materials online.
Online,
yes,
I see.
Online.
I'm sure they have so much, you know, online that you can, you know, buy just about anything under the sun. And how did you get the idea about the jewelry after scarves and bags and jewelry? This is the latest collection?
It is. It is my latest artwork, which is included in silk. Actually, what happened was whenever I used to like go meet my friends, they used, oh, why are you not wearing your scarf? You should wear your scarf. And sometimes I wore scarves, and sometimes when I'm not wearing a scarf, I thought, okay, I should have something on which I made. So that's how I started making my jewelry. And I was pleased with it because it was very light to wear, and it was one of a kind piece.
Yes.
Nobody else was wearing the same thing, so
Right.
that's how.
And then she moved to glass. Tell us about the glass. I don't know how is connection, from silk to glass, but she did the glass piece. Do you have a kiln? Do you have to bake this or not?
No, these are like glass plates, like simple plain
Also, you
glass
buy just
plates.
a simple glass pieces.
Yes, glass
Okay,
pieces. And what I do is I again make a small piece of silk, hand paint it, then steam set it, and then adhere it at the back of the glass, and it becomes like a stained glass painted plate.
Because it's there's the same thing on the back.
Yes, it has the same thing at
you
the
can
back.
see, but actually you did it just one side, but this is reflection on the other side. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. So what you can do is like you can use this as a decoration, or near a window or lamp, so that it becomes like a stained glass.
It's transparent.
It's because it's transparent. Or you can like serve food on it. It is food safe, and you can just wipe clean it after using it.
Wow.
So it's food safe.
So this is your latest thing that you're doing after all of this, from painting and making all this stuff from scarves and bags and jewelry. Wow, as you can see there, she is a multi-talented lady, and I don't know what she's going to think next. You have something in mind that you didn't show today, but you're thinking in your head that you're going to do next. I'm sure you do something.
Well, I'm always thinking, and you never know. It will be a surprise.
Really?
Like what I'm doing next. Yes.
So when you go to bed and do you think about, the next day I started something, I didn't finish, maybe tomorrow I'll have better idea. Is this how you do it? Or when you start doing something and you have to finish because, this is the technique probably that you have to finish this, or you can just leave it and next day continue to finish. How does it work?
Well, I always need some inspiration because, when you're like working in art, painting, you need something that inspires you, a color or a motif, something that inspires you. And that's what is happening with me also. Anytime when I start making a new piece, I have to be inspired by something. It can be an abstract design or just colors that I saw or flowers. So after the inspiration is there, then it takes form.
Are you something you see perhaps on television, maybe?
Yes,
That said, oh, this, but I'm not going to do the same thing. I'm going just to use this as an idea to put on my design.
Exactly, for my scarves and for my paintings also. Yes.
So you don't do any, like for example, you don't do any dresses from this, just the scarves?
Well, I take custom orders. And I do make dresses also. Anytime if somebody gives me, I don't keep them like that in shows, but I do take orders from customers who are interested in making a dress.
Oh, I see. Well, this is another media that I did not know, that she can have some client and said, I would like to have a dress. This is maybe in different color, but I would like this design, for example. So you can do that.
Yes, and then I also work for like weddings, like people who are like having weddings and they want to have similar things, a nice gift for bridesmaids.
Oh, bridesmaid, that's right, yeah.
I can write like, make custom order like designs which have their initials, the bride
and the date
the
maybe of the wedding,
date.
something like that.
And the same goes for graduation also. that I can write down what the message is on the scarf in a corner or their favorite motif.
This is something very special and very clever. So you cannot buy this in your neighborhood store, that's for sure. You know, this is something extremely special.
Thank you.
And, you know, I'm really admiring all her expertise in many things, not just scarves. Some people do just the scarves, but she does so many things. I don't know which one I would choose. If I have to choose, they're all very beautiful. And when is your next show? When you are going to be showing next time?
My next show is in the Arena stage in Washington, D.C. And it's going to be a spring show. And it's called Lady Smith's show, jewelry show. It's like accessories and handbags, scarves, jewelry,
you just
everything.
Perfectly fit there with all your things. It's wonderful. Well, you know, there are so many venues here in Washington area that. And also, you are a member of the Virginia Art Guild.
Yes, I am.
And this is a very prestigious thing. Not everybody can be a member. You really have to be judged by the other judges to see if you are really eligible to be a member of this guild, because, you know, they're not picking just everybody. You know, you have to be absolutely, you know, fantastic artist with all the things that she's doing. I'm sure
it is
no problem for you to be a member. And they have the shows, you know, from time to time. And if you know, hear that the artist is a member of the Art Guild, that means that it's really very, very well known.
It is. It is a very, actually, it is the first guild in this area which was directed towards fiber, and it's called
fiber.
It's called Potomac Fiber Arts Guild. And we have a gallery also, which is in Old Alexandria.
Oh yes, that's right.
And we all are fiber artists, and we display our stuff. And every
and you work there, like once, like a while, you work there, so you meet with the clients, which is very good, you know, to be there and spend some time in the gallery to see the. But anyway, this is the thing that she's doing. I'm so happy that she came today and show us her beautiful thing. You can also see us on YouTube if you type Olga Jevtich Fashion Notes, and see what the artist from our area is doing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you tune in next time for another exciting artist from our area. Bye bye.